boys and girls, we're going to break down the markets. I know what you're seeing right here is another finance YouTuber, Meet Kevin. Well, what Meet Kevin does is he opens up some Pokemon packs. So I know you're coming for the stocks, but at the end, we're going to have to battle him. We're going to see who's got the hands. We're going to watch him open up. I think it's 3 packs. Should be 3 packs, as someone else said. Finally got my review station set up. So we're going to test out this scene. So if you're interested in that at all, I know a lot of you guys have been. Then come on back at the end, because this is what I chose. I had to stop at the store. 3 packs. 3 packs in here. We're going to see who has the better hit. This is what you call a pack battle. So if you are new here to Midweek Market Breakdown, we're going to break some things down, go over the overall markets. I know a lot of people have opinions as to why things are crashing, what's doing what. Tech kind of had a green day today. Is this the rebound? I'm getting a whole lot of that. Not to mention, my top three tickers are Meta, Tesla, and Nvidia. 2 of those had a green day today. So was this the bottom? And I still think no, I don't think it's the bottom. I think things are actually going to get. I'm starting to think now the markets are going to correct. Which, you guys know the definition. Anything up to a 9%, that's a pullback. 10% to 19%, it's a correction. 20% or more is a crash. I don't think we're going to crash. So I do think we might get to that correction territory, which is, again, all of January I've talked about this and how the first 9 months of this year, just it being midterms, a lot of uncertainty. So we're using the AI bubble as an excuse, right? But we already talked about rolling into energy or dividend plays, utilities, industrials. What was the other one? Healthcare. So those have already done really well. And I think now we kind of just get into the meat of it. So not to confuse this with everything else. We're going to jump into the charts. But just saying, long term, that's still the view. Technically, things might have just got a little bit more bearish, especially if we're going to get any rate hikes. Markets probably aren't going to like that. The uncertainty about war with Iran, that's probably coming up. That could lead to a sell-off. Remember, it's the theme to this year, despite what all the news is uncertainty. Midterm years. We have elections, right? What, September? Oh, gosh, hopefully that's right. So a lot of the times, yeah, you'll see, if you just look up every midterm year, this is kind of how it pans out. There's a lot of uncertainty, so there's a flight to safety. The markets are sideways, right? The indexes. If you have ETFs like SPY or QQQ, you notice they're kind of sideways. But if you break down the companies inside there's a lot that are up, and there's just the big ones that are down. Those stay flat because they're just exchanging weight. There's just and YouTubers used to love this word, rotation. They're just rotating into the other things. Fund managers, they can't just sell and be cash. You probably don't want to be cash. You don't want to probably have a strong dollar play. I'll put it that way. So all they're doing, rotating. And then I think after the votes, it doesn't matter. Red, blue wave, red wave. You'll find out that actually doesn't matter. In the end of the year, probably bullish. But in the meantime, probably going to see some more bear side activity. So let's jump into the right one. Where are we at? I got to adjust this camera. 1 second. So I need to adjust this one. There we go. I will fix that after the stream. Again, still getting everything dialed in. I'm about to short Amazon because if I order one more thing and it's late again, look how weird I look. Yeah, one more thing, and I'm coming undone. Let's at least get me centered up here. Okay, so Bitcoin, bear flag, headed on down. Now, so again, purple is going to be a weekly zone. Let me change my chat to all chat, not just top chat. Here we go. This is where I talked about buying. Nothing's changed, but again, for the first 9 months of the year, I don't think there's a rush to buy. And the name of the game for me is going to be accumulation. Now, I'm selling a lot of contracts. So I sell puts, cash-secured puts. I sell a lot of covered calls on things that I have. And I'm taking that premium, and I'm using that to kind of snowball. So I'm just letting it build itself right now. We are going to go over when we get to, like, the S&P and the Nasdaq. At what point where we start really driving things in? Like, no, this is where I take the money that's in the account and start buying more. Right now, Bitcoin, we kind of just have the buy button for that one. This is a weekly chart. That is a weekly zone. So my last coin I bought was at 50. It was right down here. I'm probably going to have to do it again. Really sub 60 is where I'll probably start turning it up a little bit. If you guys don't know, I buy Bitcoin every week. It's Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'll break it down for you guys. Now I've upped the numbers, but for the longest time, and I mean years, it was 200 in Bitcoin, 200 in Ethereum, 200 into a savings account. And this is how I dollar cost average. I find it to be far more effective than just automatically buying. Because I'm a trader, that is where my main income comes from. I do have a degree of timing. So the automatic buys every week, and then once it gets to that dip point where, hey, I think this is a dip, not necessarily the bottom, but this is a dip, this is the low point. Then I take the savings and I chunk it in, and it really keeps my average down, keeps everything better off. So anyway, helps keep my averages down. And I gotta say, sub 60s where that's happening. It says, hey, you feeling better? I'm like 95% there. So if this is your first time, this is probably not how I normally sound. Still a little raspy. I don't know whatever this is. The past couple weeks, last week, I couldn't even stream because I lost my voice for a couple days. Prior to that, I tried streaming, and it sounded rough. You know, I got a face for a radio, and then last week that voice was for nothing. Only deaf people wanted to hear that. Anyway. I don't know what it is, but it lasts like a week or 2 weeks. Everyone I know has it. I don't know if it's COVID, flu, a cold, combination of it. It's absolutely annoying. But yeah, feeling a little bit better. All right, S&P. We're going to go off the weekly chart. Here's kind of what I was talking about, how stocks have gone sideways. But if you followed me into any positions, or if you follow my videos, you know what was it? Pepsi, Procter & Gamble, bought that. And we bought VRT, VST. Gosh, there was one more that I was thinking about. Anyway, just getting into a different sector other than tech. If you had been following me for a while, then you know 2023. I told you guys AI was going to be a thing. It's coming. It's taking over. People just are not recognizing it. Sold all my dividend stocks, everything, and went all in tech. So it felt weird not buying something as an AI name. Performed very well. Everything's done awesome. Got a great track history. But, you know, that being said, maybe it's time to spread the wings a little bit. Here's the S&P. Now, this is going to be futures, right? This is what drives the order flow into the ETFs like SPY. So today, we just did zone to zone. So as soon as we left this zone, just actually came down, bounced into this, went up to that zone where we would find sellers, sells back off. Again, overall, oh man, I don't know what I just did there. There we go. Zone to zone, back down. Was that the FOMC? Now we're buying right here. I gotta say, some people are really sold on this. I'm not even sold on this being a horizontal pattern anymore. Now, we talked about price discovery and how we were making lower lows and higher highs. That's not what you want on something like an index like the S&P. Definitely not something you want. That being said, the bulls are going to call this a higher low. Bears are going to start calling these lower highs. So it's almost like forming that wedge. I do think this is going to break to the downside. I think this is going to be a lower high. Horizontal, truly, it's horizontal until not, right? So if we were looking at that, you kind of have this zone up here. I have this bright yellow for a reason. I think if we break below that, again, it's gonna be down at this zone eventually. Like we're not coming back up. As long as we're above this bright yellow zone, then I'm thinking we could be horizontal. But first things first, we got to get above this. I think there could be quite a few sellers there. Lisa says I bought HIMS today. That's a different conversation. HIMS has too many problems with the government and FDA. How does Dish sound? That's a joke just for Michael, no one else. All right, so let's just talk about. Let's go to the S&P. Now the S&P. This is just because I don't have zones. I don't chart this out because you're kind of a fool if you do. This is gonna have gaps in there, and people are gonna talk about gap fills. I think you're silly. I do make fun of that a lot because this is like reading the Harry Potter books, but only reading the odd or even pages. You'll still know the story. You're gonna miss out on a lot of details. Like you think that's actually a gap. No, that was just people were asleep. That's all. It's overnight. You don't see those gaps on the futures. Now, they only take a nap for an hour a day. So that's why I don't have this zoned out. But I do like to draw out the expected moves just for the week. One standard deviation up puts us right there at the top of that. And I guess if we had a bullish catalyst, I don't see that. If anything, the Iran news might spark something, and we're right back down. I think we're. And this, not that this isn't normal, I think it's going to be a lot easier to step down than it is up in this particular case. But let's go out to a higher time frame. Let's really let's talk about where the buy button really gets turned on for me, because I said we're correcting, so that's at least 10%. So let's go from the actual highs right here. Let's go down to. Hang on. Right there, and we probably, gosh, I don't think we'll exceed. Oh, there already is 15%. Oh, we did already talk about this. Well, let me just draw this out for you guys. You can copy this if you want. Remember the last time I did this? What was it, a couple years ago? It was a couple years ago now, as a matter of fact. I talked about the crash that we were going to have in 2025. I talked about it in 2024, drew the line out, everything. We went right down, right to 20%. So we could call it a crash in a bear market. We bounced right off of it. So if you were following me at that time, congrats. Same thing. Depending on the news, I couldn't even begin to say I have a crystal ball on this one. This right here is where I start buying. This right here is where I go into margin. This right here is where I'm borrowing from grandma. Now, she died, so that's going to be a problem. But if they can vote, they can loan me money. Just kidding. All right, I won't make any more jokes. That being said, that's where things get heavy. I'll put it that way. Now, if it's going to take 9 months to get there, we could just jog our way down right here. Elections, everyone's good. Blue wave, red wave, everyone's blaming it on their team as to why the rally is going to happen. Then we end the year rocking. We're not certainly going to get down there without a catalyst. That's if we do correct. We could just jack around. We make it to a low of like 650 on the S&P and just eat this whole year off, which would absolutely suck. For an option seller like me, it's kind of fun. But even then, the premiums aren't going to be that good. We need a real catalyst and movement. But I'd say that's where things are really getting going. Lori says, hi from Puerto Rico. What's happening? Hopefully it's awesome and safe travels. As far as tech, gosh, this has a lot of lines. If you are brand new here, for maybe thumbnail reasons or whatever, this is charted out a lot. These are all about to get deleted, as a matter of fact. I gotta say, so bear flag or reversal, they're gonna look the same. Now we can call this little baby, like a little kangaroo bear flag. Here's the mama kangaroo, here's the little baby kangaroo. Maybe we got that situation panning out. This is just bearish territory. Honestly, if we get to this bright yellow zone. Now luckily I added on to SQQQ up here today. I am short. I wanted to grab something that wasn't an options contract. So I do have SQQQ added on to that today. Probably going to, if we got, at least that zone, if not a little bit higher, I would add on a little bit more. That's to hold through all the turbulent stuff. Mostly because tech is just responsible. There's 5 names responsible for almost 90% of the growth. If those 5 names slip, good luck to all the other ones. Doesn't matter how good they're doing. They don't carry enough weight. So you'll see things really look chaotic in here. So again, if SQQQ ends up being a loss, it's because, like I told you guys in January, This could be turbulent, could just suck. I'm not selling any of the longs that I have. I'm just not adding on aggressively right now because I think there's going to be a better buy later. If SQQQ ends up being a loss, if I bought, well, I do have SPY puts, but if my puts end up being a loss, they're just like every airbag and every car you've owned. You paid for it, and if it never goes off, it's a good thing. You can call it a waste of money, but it was there if need be. So if this absolutely melts off, I'll lock in profits. I'll use that to buy the dip. 8 out of 11 sectors were up today. Banging. For charts and Patreon level 1, check out Patreon. Casey's my admin. She is posting the links in there. That's a big pullback. It is. Is it Patreon going to $19.99 a month? It's already there. Unless you were a legacy member and you got in before. No, yes. If you want to see what I'm buying, I do post it all. Today there was a message. I'm going to get to that. I did buy him, so I'm going to go over that real quick before we jump into a Meet Kevin Pokemon pack battle. It's kind of cool seeing other finance YouTubers getting into this. I've talked to other Pokemon YouTubers. It's just something that I've done. Started out as like a hobby with the kids, turned into a card store. As everything else does. Why go a little bit when you can go 1,000%? But anyway, there's. I just got to rant real quick, guys. The people in the Pokemon realm, I enjoy the enthusiasm. The community is actually awesome. But when they use investing terms, I want to stab my eye with a fork. I can't stand it. I absolutely can't. So it is kind of cool that Meet Kevin's now opening up Pokemon packs on his channel, because now it's like someone in my, because he does real estate and stocks just like I do. He has House Hack, which is obviously not what I do, but in that space, 2 Pokemon, it'll be a lot better. I don't think he's going to be calling it his portfolio anytime soon. All right, as far as the expected, we're nowhere as far as the expected moves go. That's not really a story, and it usually isn't until we exceed the expected moves. I gotta say right now, I think the buyers probably should have been a little bit more aggressive. If they were going to show up and it's time to put up or shut up. If they're going to do something, I don't think we would have seen this red. There's just not the follow through isn't there, which makes me think we might continue south. You and Kevin should be friends. Well, I'll never dye my hair. And as you see, Meet Kevin's wearing a Luigi. Not gonna lie, I wish I could pull that off. I'm not. I think at my core, there's some what nowadays is called toxic masculinity. I don't think I could do it. I will say though, I'll give Kevin this. If there was ever someone to meet and talk about real estate with, it would be him. I don't care for Grant or any of the other what people probably assume are big names. Real estate wise, I could talk for hours on that. Qs, I just don't think that's doing that strong. Grandpa Dow, it's just chugging along. Bear flag or reversal. Your first sign is going to be this zone breaks. If that breaks, maybe we get a deeper pullback. Maybe something like this right here, just this move. If there was one that you wanted to maybe hold through the storm, this pullback right here will look like nothing compared to tech. What's a Luigi? Mario and Luigi. In fact, I still have it up. Here's his outfit. I just couldn't pull off the hat. I don't know what this is, but it does look cool. And I feel like one day the camera would just be on accidentally streaming, and I'm out there just practicing my moves and what looks like some sort of Klingon Star Trek, battle weapon. I'm sure some gamers might really hate that I don't know that, but I don't know. Who just says that's what I do? I've been thinking about dyeing my hair silver. Get some salt and pepper so people think I'm actually as old as I am. I got called out. Funny enough, I was getting my hair cut, and she said it's not gray, but I have a lot of blondes, different color blondes, and some gray in my beard. Illidan, am I saying that right? Warglaive from World of Warcraft. Now we're about. Let me just go over this real quick. Grandpa Dow, expect to move, nothing there. The only time I've ever almost punched a gamer in his little face, I was working at Best Buy, and he asked me if we sold WoW, the software. Now I didn't know he was calling World of Warcraft WoW, and I didn't have and the last thing I had up until I was 30 was a Nintendo 64. Like I did other things growing up. I was not a gamer or anything like that. And he said, "You don't know what WoW is?" And the way he chuckled and like tried to look down at me, I could have beat the life out of that guy. I was like, back then gamers were still getting made fun of, and like, here you are talking like this? Nope. I was like, first of all, calling it WoW, you're stupid. How about that? I'll probably never forget that. I could be 10 years into dementia, and I'm still gonna remember that guy. Gets me fired up just even thinking about it. Best weapon in the Burning Crusade for rogues and warriors. Feel like Matt knows about this. Russell, nothing to talk about other than not financial advice. Probably wouldn't be in it. Zone to zone, hanging out in the middle. Probably about to be a zone break and then into that zone. Okay, so there is on the thumbnail, right? We got Meta. Meta tried to. Didn't try to do much. As far as we can just look at the watch list real quick. Meta was up 0.6%, Microsoft 0.6%, Nvidia 1.6%, Amazon. I mean, really, Amazon and Nvidia probably should be on the thumbnail. But seeing how Meta is always my number one position, and I do get a lot of questions about Meta because of that. I would love to say this is the bottom for Meta. Everyone's bringing up their CAPEX. I feel like YouTubers just learned what that is, and everyone keeps saying capital expenditures, CAPEX. It's like saying EV, an electronic vehicle EV. Like you're saying the same thing twice, and it bothers me. But they keep saying that word over and over again. And right now, everyone's spending more. But the more Meta spends, they get to put it instantly to use. Their whole platform is off of that. So maybe I'm a little bit biased. I think Meta is going to take the brunt of this. Let's say tech corrects. Meta's not going to sit it out. I think it's going to look a lot better than some of the others. Now, Microsoft is one. So Microsoft and Netflix kind of in my top two as far as like buying the dip. I think they're down. I think they're cheap. And again, that's very opinionated. Everyone loves to bring out their Excel documents and give their own percentages and growth, and then what they don't realize, they're just pulling numbers out of their head. If you're not an insider, like your opinion's cool. You know, I have mine, you have yours. It's not even a bad thing, but it's weird now when I call something cheap and someone's like, "Well, I think they're only going to do this much growth." I'm like, that thrills me to death. That really does. Anyway, I'm buying it. Thumbs up or we're shutting it down. Yeah, actually I do. Let's get a hit the thumbs up button for me. I'm selling good karma in the form of a thumbs up button. If you want your next trades to be green, hit the thumbs up button for me. Just think about that. How's that karma going to feel? You maybe don't even feel about it. You maybe don't even feel you don't believe in karma. And then you don't hit the thumbs up, and then tomorrow your trade's red. Coincidence? I'll let you be the judge. Sucks to suck. You had your opportunity. Nvidia, cool story. Literally just sideways. The amount of questions I get over Nvidia is wild. You would think it moves like Bitcoin or Tesla. You could have bought up here. You could have bought down here. It's almost a $200 product. We're talking about $8. And if you're going to hold it for any amount of time, do you just think that's going to be the peak? That's it. That's all it's got. It's nothing left in the tank. That's crazy. As far as short-term trades, I guess I could buy it here at 173, put a whole bunch of capital in there. I'm trailing it by the time it gets to 178. That's $5 a share. There's quite a few other tickers I could go for if I just wanted that kind of movement. If you like the idea of buying something, and because there's a lot of people that really just don't know how to stop out of a stock, their brain just will not let them. Then maybe Nvidia is the. I was trying to. There it is. Maybe Nvidia is your ticker. You know, because there's probably, and I would get fried if I ever said this at a bank. There's probably just no reason to ever take a loss on Nvidia right now. For whatever it is, in the hype right now for this year, we could go to war with Iran. We can do whatever we want. The idea that Nvidia won't recover, gosh, I got to say, is so slim. So I hit the thumbs up as soon as I joined the chat. That's the energy we need. I appreciate that. Do I have to undo my thumbs up and then hit thumbs up again to get that good karma? No, if you already did it before, you get extra karma. That's extra credit. If you did it without me saying, Lisa, your next covered call is not going to be underwater. Unless I'm in it, then I really hope so. In a leap for a month, got year for it to move. Yeah. Not financial advice. Yeah, this really is just my opinion. That's it. Let's talk about HIMS. This is the controversial one. You guys can't wait to tell me. Do you know they're getting sued? And whoever just heard me say it, you probably think I'm talking about you. Even Michael in the chat is already saying they got too many problems. The FDA is cutting off their materials. They can't do it. This is absolutely getting obliterated. This is one that I've had, and I was up on it a lot. And then I've even added on, bringing my average up. So it's officially down. I'm down in that position. That being said, yeah, they're going up against kind of big pharma right now. Long story short, this will be a much more in detail video of its own. So if you're interested in HIMS, that is one that's coming out probably this weekend. A little bit more of a deep dive and why I don't care what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I get it. They shouldn't do the GLP-1s, or the way they did it was a little bit shady. FDA is kind of clapping back. If you look at the overall, if you were to just put their business on a pie chart, it's not even really a pizza slice. Maybe a small pizza slice. Depends on the deal. It's definitely not a Sam's Club or Costco pizza slice. So right now it's catching the turmoil. The markets aren't doing good anyway. Now, this is a very speculative buy. Remember that time I told you guys I'm buying Bitcoin? This is crazy. I'm buying a lot of it. It was at 16,000. I got made fun of for buying the highs. Then it went to 70. Yeah, I'm not talking about when it first went to 16. I'm talking about when I noticed institutions were involved. At the time I told you guys to buy Google, 150, Meta at 90. Remember when Palantir had good earnings and went to 10? And then I got made fun of for buying that at its highs. And then it went to 200. Just like all those other times. Eventually, one of these days, I might be wrong. But for now, this one right here. If you guys are part of my Patreon, then you got kind of the longer message today. Usually, I just tell you what I'm buying, what I'm selling. That's it. It's just I bought this. Here's my average cost. I sold this. Bing, bang, boom. That's it. Today, you got a little bit of a message with this. So I have a weekly deposit of $150. This account started because I was going to just beat Jeremy at everything he does. I'm not competitive at all. Anyway, he was going to put $150 in an account. I was originally doing $100. He was doing $150. Then he announces it coincidentally at the exact same time. So I bumped it to $150 just so I could say, I'm going to beat you at everything. He changed the rules. He's depositing more. I kept my original $150 in there. So that original automatic $150 deposit is what's going to be what is buying HIMS every week for the next couple months, few months. Once we get to 100, I'll probably sell shares against it. But right now, I'm not just going to take the cash or anything we have and just go buy a whole bunch and turn it into an income ticker right now. I am gonna grow. Now I could just wait for this to get lower. I know it's what a lot of people think. Like if you think it's going lower, why not just wait? Because there's a chance we do just rip this thing right back up. if for some reason next week this thing just shoots to 30, right? We just get this little violent pump up. I probably would just lock in profits, wait for it to get lower and start buying again. Why not skip a couple red candles at that time? So not to say I didn't want to risk, sometimes you just don't want to risk not being in something, which is like FOMO's second cousin. You're flirting with some lines there. But where the portfolio is at now, $150 is nothing. So yeah, as far as that goes, I like this. HIMS does a lot more than GLP-1s. That's just the fad right now. I think their customer base is gonna be strong. It's too easy. It's too convenient. It's like one of the pharmaceutical companies just embracing tech. Everyone else, you got to go to the doctor, pry some teeth, unless you got one of those cool doctors. You got to Google your symptoms, make them up, lie to the doctor, and the doctor's not going to believe you because they don't care anyway. They come in, they're there for 30 seconds. They already have an idea of whatever it is that you're not going to change their mind. So you can have that whole experience. You can just do it online with HIMS for some of the basic stuff: hair loss, testosterone. I think it's testosterone, hair loss, and then the sex drugs, the blue pills, if you will, blue or green. Anyway, I don't think this is going anywhere, but not to confuse that with how I buy Meta or anything else like that. This is when I told you guys I'm buying Palantir at 10. I could be wrong, and that's why it doesn't get half the account. So we're going to be mindful of allocation, and allocation is always key. You can buy some garbage tickers. And something I say a lot is you can't lose your butt unless you put it on the line in the first place. This thing could get delisted, and I would move on with my life like nothing ever happened. If you can't say that about your opinion or about your positions, if me even saying it out loud, like, hey, this thing could get cut in half, and you start sweating, that tells me you're over allocated instantly. You need to chill out. You need to dial it back before it gets too late. Let's see. Class action lawsuit is usually bullish or bull. When the HIM shorters get squeezed, it could be epic. Yeah, and that was also part of the message is so there's trading, right? There's always three strategies. There's trading, there's investing, and then there's income. I'm specifically doing this for income. So I'm going to own my 100 shares like I own a rental property, and I'm going to collect rent every week by selling weekly contracts against it. And like I said, this one's not going to be instant. Let's say we had 100 shares tomorrow. I'm not selling a call right now. This thing would need to shoot up, maybe a short squeeze. However, there's plenty of things that could happen. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But that's also the reason why I'm not going to sell an 18-strike call for $12. We're going to let this thing. We're going to get some appreciation first, and then we'll sell calls. Their hair loss product worked like magic on you. That's awesome, right? I assume that's a good thing. Everyone in my family has hair, so I think I'll be fortunate enough to not do that. And honestly, if I ever do go bald, man, I'm gonna think about it. Nothing to comb or anything like that. Body wash is all you need. There's some perks there. I just don't think my build and my size works right now if I were to go bald. I'm 2 lightning bolts away just from the tattoo I'm talking about. That's all I would feel like if I went bald. My 401 is over allocated. I'd be scared if it went to 0. 401s you leave alone. I doubt you're managing it yourself anyway. So who's ready to see? Who's ready to see this? Merlin hates HIMS. Well, I'll have to talk to Merlin about that. That is a perfect excuse. There's another trader that I do talk to, Trader Merlin. He is a good friend of mine. We jump on each other's channels every now and then. And now we have something to talk about. It's kind of boring when our thoughts align because it's just, hey, I'm thinking this. I agree. And we just do that back and forth. But now we got something. Actually, I'm glad you said that. Before we jump in and meet Kevin opens his packs and we see if we can beat him, gold and silver, because with this Iran situation, the whole money situation in general, we could see some volatility. This is hanging on. Now, yeah, this is what I call a volleyball spike. And anytime you play volleyball, before you spike it, you have to set it. You set it, then you spike it down. JP Morgan coincidentally had to open some shorts and close them right there. It's kind of wild. But let's just say, what would you think about this if does this clear things up for anybody? Now, I don't mean Photoshop the candles out, but what does that look like to you? Kind of looks like we're grinding our way back up. Everything's staying the same. Cutting out the, it's hard to move this with gold. You see this on some smaller tickers, it's easier to move around. You're in a position, you create that exit liquidity, you sell your position, then you buy it right back, kind of play. Ultimately, I call it a Photoshop play because you could just delete these candles and the grind just kind of stays up. So I am buying GLD and SLV. Usually I'm in futures contracts, but for this it was kind of more of a longer term play. Right now they're holding out sideways. I bought, it might have been here. Silver's obviously down. I bought at one of these two zones and then added on. I want to say it was this peak right here. That's it as far as SLV goes. I am still adding on to that, but right now, it feels so weird. Even I'm glad I have a Pokemon card opening excuse to be live for, because the first 9 months of this year kind of feels like I'm just going to sit back, put my feet up on the desk, and make up an excuse to go live. Thoughts on miners, GDX? They'll have some movement, but I think it depends. Are you looking at? I would trade the miners. Why, that just sounds like an Epstein statement. Trade those. I would trade the gold miners. I would probably hold a gold ETF. Okay, let's do the dollar real quick. We'll do the dollar. I would say short the dollar in that zone. What's the Japanese yen up to? Selling off, huh? We can kind of see a speed bump zone right here. I would probably stay on the same short path. Forward real quick. Hey, there we go. Moving its way on up. Right to the top of a horizontal pattern. Definitely more horizontal until we jumped out a little bit. I would be cautious of this. Congrats to all the Ford shareholders. That trend line looks absolutely gorgeous. They don't last forever. And honestly, I would treat this like a ratchet. You know, the little clicker things if you don't know what tools are. Once it gets above this, that's the click, and it doesn't go backwards. Once it does get below that, I got to assume something like over here is probably panning out. Bald is beautiful. Hey, maybe on other people. I just don't think I have the build for it. All right, let's jump into, gosh, what is it, D? Nope, it's this one. It's not. It's B. There we go. All right, I have to test the sound on this. So you guys have to. We got to open up some. We're gonna watch Meet Kevin open up some packs. It's called a pack battle in the card world. You guys open up packs at the same time, or one person and the other. You see who's got the best card, and then the winner either gets bragging rights, or the loser usually has to donate. It's like the other channel, usually to the kids. But I need to test out the sound. I'm gonna play a clip from him. We're gonna play his. He has no idea we're doing this. But let me know how the sound is, because you should hear him, and then you should also hear me.
Mm-hmm. Trump moves closer to a major war with Iran.
Hang on, he's about to open the cards.
We need a report of who did not visit Epstein Island.
Can you guys hear the sound effects?
Yeah.
That's actually
Pokemon?
my last question.
Dude, let's do a Pokemon, and then we'll read this.
Let's do a Pokemon, Meet Kevin. He just said it.
All right, here we go. Let's get a.
Let me know how the sound is for real.
All right. Let's rip one, boys and girls. Boys and two girls.
There's the thumbnail right there. A little green and blue. These backgrounds look all right. Am I done with tickers now? Yeah, for the live stream.
Get that pack open. Richard Clarida.
Where's my nerd alert?
All right.
I don't have one.
Chuck that away. I don't know on Astro Radius how many. I think it's 3. Okay. Yeah,
I
I'm
wish
sure I
you'd get a
screwed
little
this
bit
up. I
closer to
didn't
the
start
camera.
at
You
the
can tell he's
energy.
brand new.
All right, so we screwed it up. See if we get
Sound is a
anything
little
on
bit
today's
loud,
rip.
huh?
That's a cute little card.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
How about that? Is that better? How's that sound?
I think I did pretty well with the 3, actually.
The green does work in
reverse
the
hollow
Luigi outfit.
and nothing. Dude, it's not even a hollow. That's crazy. Wow. My star card was not even a hollow. What a scam.
Actually, fun fact with Pokemon on the yellow border stuff, they don't make the yellow border anymore. They're silver border now. We could probably even find out. Let's watch that one more time. Thank you for helping me. Kids and their toys. Yeah. I thought this was cool. So he's opened up a pack of its Astral Radiance you can see down there.
All right.
Now there's a code card, a code for like online cards.
Open. Richard Clarida.
And it should be black or white. So you see how that's
all right.
Oh, you missed it.
Chuck that away. I don't know on Astral Radiance how many. I think it's 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it right here so I can show you guys
Get
something.
that pack open.
I thought this was a
Richard
cool fact.
Clarida.
Right there. Okay, so you see how this is white? White's actually a heavier card. Now, if there was a black version of this, you'll see like the black outline. Black was lighter because the hologram cards actually weighed more, so you could weigh the packs. So Pokemon would put in different cards at the end, so they would all kind of weigh the same, which I thought was actually pretty cool. Doing that. So I can tell you right now, without this, he's not going to get anything in the back, like a hit, a chase card, something cool. Like I have one right here on my desk. You know, like you'll see something like, where's it at? Like that. That would be considered a chase. That would be like at the end. The way you did it is better. Close up of the cards on your desk. Yeah, I don't think Meet Kevin does it like that. I think he's getting into it, and it's like a.
All right, chuck that away.
Pit.
I don't know on Astral
mine
Radiance
ended
how
up
many.
being turned into a business.
3. So I probably screwed
Okay, he's
that
playing
up,
now. How do you guys feel about this sound?
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I screwed this up. I didn't start at the energy. All right, so we screwed it up. See if we get anything
tickers?
on
Lord,
today's rip.
no.
That's a cute little card. I think I did pretty well with the 3, actually. Okay, reverse hollow and nothing.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Dude, it's not even a hollow. That's crazy. Wow.
It's not crazy. Kevin, you would have known that if you listened to me.
Was not even a hollow. What a scam.
What a
That's
scam.
like the worst pack I've opened
No.
yet. Thank you, Pokemon. 30% of that money goes to Nintendo, so you could always buy Nintendo stock.
Definitely not financial advice. 30% of that goes to Nintendo, so you can buy Nintendo stock. I don't. Okay, what is it, Jay?
It goes to Nintendo, so you could always buy Nintendo.
The L?
That's it. We gotta pump the stock. Like a gambler. One more. Just one more. I did actually get 2. One more. Ugh.
Now, I don't struggle with opening packs.
That one's trash.
I guess
so let's try
being
2.
a gymnast, working in concrete.
2 out on the back. Nope, I screwed it up. Oh, then maybe
mechanic.
It's 4.
Maybe I just got
1,
the hands.
2. There we go. It's 4. Astral Radiance, you have to bring 4. So we start with the energy.
Did we see? I missed it. The card was
Trainer.
black.
Nothing. Gusty Pickaxe. That's cool. All right. No, I got that one in the last pack. Okay, here we go. Said I don't have any other packs on my desk, so this is it. That's the reverse hollow, and
Get you some.
Again, nothing. Not even a full hollow. Oh, this pack is rigged. Maybe it's like reseal. Wow.
Is Kevin as loud as me? Is he a little bit quieter, or
exist with house?
I was told he was doing 3 packs.
And off. Well, both. I don't think.
And I don't want to.
The other way was their deal. He could release.
He's going over news and stuff like that for stocks.
And be bigger. Wow, this is terrorist proxies, right? And that actually makes the reconstruction of Gaza more difficult.
This makes my work a lot easier. For those that want news,
the
Israeli government will just push you
That's
from.
True, dude. Mac dollar card. Like,
is there not a third
telephone
pack?
road? Anybody can use that. PO box.
There's a PO box with him something.
This one I'm pretty sure is 1, and then let's call
it here's his third pack.
Fire on the energy.
And then we're just gonna see. There's a silver border where the other pack he had was yellow border.
Jiggly, dude, I've gotten like 50 of these Jigglypuffs. Gloom, Charmander.
He's got 50.
I'm pretty sure I have another Charmander right here. I do. It's like I'm tired of getting Charmanders. Only that. Charmanders.
What's funny is I just gave away
Where am I
45,000
going to
cards
put all these loser
for
cards?
free. That's not a made up
All
number.
right.
Probably
I'm
literally
optimistic.
45,000.
I'm optimistic. Okay, reverse hollow. All right, and second reverse hollow, and
Boom.
nothing.
All right, ladies and
Just
gentlemen.
stop, Kevin. Just stop.
The
Just
time
stop right
you've
now.
been waiting for. Me,
Go-
Kevin,
go-
I appreciate the competition, but it seems like I don't have any. Again, this is something a lot of the Pokemon people do. Pack battles. So his 3 packs, I'm going to go against with these 3 packs. This is a Pokemon Day box. So Pokemon Day is this Friday, as a matter of fact, February 20th. I think it's when Pokemon started or came out. It's the anniversary, right? Not the TCG, the cartoon, the games. I honestly don't know which one came first. So they're celebrating that with all of this. Now I do have a new camera, so let's just make sure we stay focused. Hang on, let me. All right, I want to make sure we're in here. We're focused. We're looking good. Now these have a special hollow. All right, we got a coin. I know this is nothing. Let's do this. So if I win, I'm officially, obviously, in every way, much cooler than Meet Kevin. I don't make the rules. Just kind of is what it is. Let's go Mega Evolution first. And then Phantasmal Flames. If we tie, we obviously got to do this again. So there's that code card that he showed at the beginning was white. Yeah, see where this is green? Where I was talking about, that would be black. So the inks actually, these cards way different based on their color to make sure the packs can't be weighed. I have a pack from 1996, 1997, and it's called a heavy pack, so you know there's a hollow back there. You know what everyone's talking about? Yo, hopefully there's a Charizard or something like that in there. Some of these are just weird looking. How's that camera look? At that autofocus, though. Now, this is the most expensive webcam you'll probably ever have on your desk. There we go. So I automatically win. Obviously, I'm cooler. This is why you should subscribe to my channel. I talk about stocks like me, Kevin. I don't talk about as much real estate, but I do have better hands. These hands. I win. I'm better. This one card beats his whole pack. I'll pull up the values. You could. It's crazy how you can see how much these are worth and to be sold. It's been a few years, but you got into Pokemon because of your kid, right? Back into it, yeah. I definitely had these when I was a kid. Definitely wishing I didn't sell them. If your kids, it's likely it's not they're probably not fast enough. You can go to this Pokemon.com redeem. I've never actually done it. You get digital cards. They can scan this or type in the code. You'd be surprised how fast people have bots that will scan YouTube videos for that. But try to get it if it's something they're into. That's a weird penguin. That's a weird looking dude. But yeah, my kids said the YouTube videos were boring. They didn't like watching videos of stocks. So we started doing this. I was like, well, fine. We were opening packs anyway. I was like, well, if we made that a YouTube video, would you watch that? I guess me, Kevin, and me, we're all just pulling Charmanders, a little fire lizard. Monkey with a hand for a tail. Nothing. All right, last pack magic. Mine burned in a house fire. I would go back in the house for that. Is that weird? Never got back into the cards. You don't like money? I'm just kidding. I do have a video. It's not gonna be on this channel, but investing in Pokemon cards. There is a way to do it. It is something I'm profitable on. Definitely not like stocks. Is that shiny? No. Eternatus reverse. Another now. So we got one hit. What did I win? The right to say I'm cooler than Meet Kevin. That's it. I got the hands. Let's see how much this is worth. Is it B? There we go. Let me get my keyboard back out. Anyway, let me know about the setup. We're still trying everything out. Everything's looking good. What do we got? I'm just out here clicking buttons. Give me. Honestly, I don't know if it's going to pull up any orders because there's a website called TCG Player. So I'm on this screen right now, so I can at least get to the cards. So everything I have, like there's some that I sell. I like the hits I'll sell. But other than that, I just give them away. But on here, they will. I'm losing my mind. I don't want to give anybody's order away. Let's go with. All right, so here is the website. So I have this high to low just for fun. So this should be the card we're looking at. Mega Evolutions. So real quick, we're looking for this card right here. Now I can actually just type that in and figure it out. That's crazy. It's already 500. Let's go Pokemon set. Okay, Mega Evolutions. There we go. I really just want. Next time I'll have this ready. Let's go Mega Evolution. That's the set that we are opening up. Okay, so the most expensive card that we could have pulled, $278. It is that gold card. The other gold card's $216. So you open that up, you could sell it right now, and that's how much you would make. I don't think we're anywhere close to that on that hit though. So we are. Might have to just there it is. So it's $1.16 is how much that card is worth right now. So that is precisely how you turn $20 into $1. So if you suck at stocks, what you could do is watch your money go away in a much cooler fashion, definitely a much more colorful, hands-on approach. You know, just something to think about. I do have a cooler promo. So I guess that's it. Let me know in the comments as far as audio goes. Once I turned it down, is everything good? Because that's ultimately going to be my reaction video setup and stuff like that. Definitely just getting this all set up. In fact, it's still not done because Amazon, again, delayed a couple more packages. The last 4 things that I've got from Amazon that I bought specifically because of the delivery date to have this all set up and done have all been extended, delayed. Well, delayed first, and then still en route, but delayed. And then they're like, we don't know if it's coming. So we deleted it, and we ordered you another one. So hopefully everything looks good. Getting everything all ready. I will say, I don't know if we ever went on here. I do have a microscope to put the cards under to get a real good look at them. That does feed into the computer, into the live stream. That's one of the cords that I'm waiting for Amazon to get here. Then we could zoom in and see the condition of the card. Audio is good. Banging. I appreciate you guys for helping out. Hopefully Meet Kevin sees. If not, Meet Kevin should just know that I'm watching his videos. Or at least people I know are watching his videos, and they'll tell me when he's opening up Pokemon cards. And then I'm going to battle him every time. Every time. And I'm going to declare that I'm going to be the winner. That's it. Yeah. I guess, yeah, that's it. I'm saying. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here, though. I guess I will see you beautiful people tomorrow for another red day. I mean, depends if you liked the